Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tagline podcast. See, when I do it slower, it doesn't devolve into the Unsolicited Opinions podcast by accident.
You do have to catch yourself.
Yeah.
We have not been as regular as we had hoped.
No, oh God, I apologize for last weekend. That fell through because I wasn't feeling too good and things were, yeah.
Let's just say that as you age, all your young bits are getting replaced by old bits, and things.
What are you implying here? Holy shit, that sounded way worse than, yes, I had problems with my jaw. You made it sound like my dick had fallen off or something. Dude, come on. My bits.
It doesn't sound any better when you point out that it was your jaw that was tired.
Yeah.
Tisk. But this week we are discussing another Coen Brothers film, one of my favorites, Raising Arizona.
Yeah. Awesome. I hadn't watched it for years, and then I was supposed to watch it Actually, I was supposed to watch it last week, but then a bunch of things happened and things got postponed, and then I was supposed to watch it this week, and then I started watching it like 20 minutes before the podcast right now. But once I just saw the first 5 minutes, every fucking thing about that movie came flooding back. So it's a movie that sort of captures your imagination, but then you watch a lot of movies later that are similar, and it sort of blends into it because it's a crazy movie, but it's not as crazy as, say, like The Big Lebowski. It has the quirky characters, but it hasn't gone as far as some of their other works when it comes to quirkiness and quirky characters and so on.
Well, yeah, it's very grounded. All the characters. Well, I mean, like we were discussing a little bit before the podcast, it's definitely a fairy tale.
Yes.
This is a modern day fairy tale, and apparently the moral of the story is
steal babies.
Still babies. No, it's no, it's got those a lot of magical thinking going on, a lot of fanciful elements that are there to highlight certain emotions and aspects. A lot of language of film stuff going on.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's one of the if Blood Simple was sort of the movie that got them noticed, then by Hollywood, Raising Arizona is really what started their career as such in Hollywood or in more mainstream movies. Even though I wouldn't even go as far as saying that the Coen Brothers movies are mainstream, but you know what I mean. It's more market friendly than Blood Simple.
This is true.
Yeah. And it was in fact the movie right after Blood Simple. So.
And which is amazing, and I think they may have done it that way. I don't know how the Coens decide what they're going to do next, because it seems like they've just random as can be, whatever strikes their fancy. But it just tonally, visually, everything about it was complete opposite of Blood Simple.
Yeah. It is not serious. It doesn't take itself serious at all. It is I love how you can see what we have come to know as Coen Brothers comedy already taking root in that movie. I especially I remember the shot once when Ed and H.I. McDonough finds
Holly
out that
Hunter and Nicolas Cage.
yes, Holly Hunter and Nicolas Cage, which by the way, this is the movie before he went, well, he was crazy, but it's not the typical type of Nicolas Cage movie. At the time it was a typical Nicolas Cage movie, but it's not it's not, he doesn't overact to that degree in this one. But anyways, the shot when Nicolas Cage and Holly Hunter's characters are being told that Holly Hunter's or Ed can't conceive, she's barren, and they use a lot of language in the first 15 minutes that they would never get away with. They make jokes about or not jokes on behalf of the or at the expense of the trans community, but they do have some jokes about transsexuality early in the first 15 minutes, which kind of shows, yeah, this kind of movie could never be made by a new director at this point right now. But it's not just a political correctness thing, but it's also the way that the characters are structured, how they interact with each other. They're zany, they're quirky, but they're not over the top, in my opinion.
Well, H.I., he's a very, very strange character because he's your narrator for anyone who hasn't seen the film. He's your narrator throughout the film. And as a narrator, he has a flourish, that does not show up in him as a character.
No.
Like, he's an individual that the inner working, the inner mind is a much more interesting place than it translates to in any action he decides to take.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me of I don't know, this may be going out on a limb, but the main character, Ewan McGregor's character in Big Fish. Kind of like the guy who tells stories in his head or tells stories to other people are immediately exaggerated or exaggerate his own abilities. But it creates a perfect balance because it's very effective as a comedy tool in this movie.
Well, yeah, because he's sitting there being poetic and philosophical and doing all these, talking about his dreams, and there's some amazing dream sequences that aren't dreams, according to the film. Like his dreams all are prophetic, almost.
Yeah.
And but at the same time, you have this guy who sounds intelligent in the narration, and then decides to rob a convenience store to get some diapers, and then there is an absolutely hilarious 10-minute chase scene with him trying to keep hold of a bag of diapers.
Yeah.
He's not smart. At least his actions aren't intelligent.
No, he's the typical sort of American anti-hero, I guess, that has a very high opinion of his own abilities, but he always falls flat on his face. But he gets out of it very often because he has that typical I guess it would be a southern sort of healthy, healthy charisma that and view of life that is very happy-go-lucky almost. So he it almost appears in the beginning. For those who haven't seen it, Holly Hunter's character is a police officer, and she works at the local police station where HI lives, and he gets himself arrested several times, and that is how he meets her. And it almost seems in the beginning like he is trying to get arrested so he can get back to seeing her, because that's what you see. You don't see anything of his life apart from committing crimes, sitting in jail, and then being back in the police station, having his picture taken and having his fingerprints taken. So it is kind of, it feels like he is doing it on purpose to see Holly Hunter's character Ed.
Well, and it's so funny. Just thinking back on those scenes, it's the entire relationship and the courting and all that told through mugshots, through them taking the mugshots.
Yes.
You know, that's where they meet. That's where he flirts. That's where they make a connection. That's where he proposes.
Yeah, that's where he consoles her as well, because her fiance leaves her in the second scene she appears in. She's crying while taking the photograph, and then she tells her about her fiance leaving her. So it is, there is, that is just the, I guess that you could argue that the storyteller he isn't telling a story about HI, he's telling a story about HI's love, or the movie is telling you the story of HI's love for Ed.
Yeah, it is a love story. It is a fairy tale, and I don't. We have to talk about a couple of the. I'll put these. There's really only one bad guy in this whole scenario.
Yes.
There's one bad guy and two idiots. Are your antagonists
yes.
in this scenario? And the idiots, played by John Goodman, and I do not know the other guy's name.
Give me a second, and I'll figure it out, because I do. He is a typical sort of. He is a typical William Forsythe is the guy's name. He plays Evel.
But there's just a wonderful scene, because the whole after the courtship, and they find out they can't have babies. There is a lot. The whole film's imagery is based around birth and baby stuff throughout most of the film. It always goes back to stuff.
Yeah.
And they introduced John Goodman and William Forsythe's character in what could only be described as a birthing scene.
Yes.
Which is just absolutely
wonderful. They introduce them. They give them names at that point, because they introduce them already in the prison scenes earlier, when HI is at sort of group sessions in the sort of montage at the beginning. They do have John Goodman's character talking and espousing some semi-philosophical stuff about why he keeps ending up in jail. So the
film is populated by a bunch of people who believe their own bullshit too.
And in
such an endearing way. You can't really. other than the character that's supposed to be hated, you can't really hate any of the characters.
No, I mean, to a certain degree, not even the Arizonas, the parents of Nathan Arizona Jr., which is the baby that they end up kidnapping. Which is kind of a spoiler, but it's not. It's 15 minutes into a movie that is over 20 years old. Get a grip.
No, but John Goodman and William Forsythe's character are introduced on a rainy night. I cannot remember exactly. It's juxtaposed with something going on with Hi and Ed, but they're introduced on a rainy night, digging their way out of this hole in the ground, and they come out screaming and curling into a fetal position.
If it wasn't made before it, I would swear to God that it was a parody of Shawshank Redemption. That scene is very similar to Tim Robbins' escape scene in Shawshank Redemption.
Well,
again,
I mean,
spoiler alert in hindsight.
A direct analogy, because that was his rebirth in Shawshank.
Yes,
And,
it is, and that is often used as a. You don't. If you make prison movies that are actually about the incarceration and the transformation of a person, you need that rebirthing scene. But if you're making an escape movie or a movie about people who are good at escaping and you want it cool, then you have the typical leave by the front door scene. You know,
or like the casual walking away.
Yes, the casual walking outside of the prison and just, So that is very the imagery in Raising Arizona is far undervalued, in my opinion, as well as the story. I don't understand why I do this myself, even because I had completely forgotten about this movie until you started mentioning, oh, we should do Raising Arizona, and I thought, yeah, that'd be cool. And then and I had completely forgotten the entire fucking plot line of that movie, and it's good.
See, Raising Arizona is just a wonderful, fun, lighthearted film. It's something that will put a smile on your face if you're having a bad day. It's that kind of film.
Yeah.
And it's got the skill of the Coen brothers being silly and telling you a little fairy tale.
Yes.
A lighthearted fairy tale about two people kidnapping a baby.
Yeah.
And then you also have, I believe they called him the lone biker of the apocalypse. Was that?
Yeah, I can't remember. Again, I didn't watch very far into the movie, but let me give me. I can find it. I can actually find the. Oh, again, Frances McDormand is in that movie. I'd completely forgotten that she is, but she plays in that one.
She's who does she play in that? Is she
Yeah, she plays Dot in that movie. I can't remember.
That is his friend's wife. That's his asshole friend's wife.
Yeah.
The respectable friend who tells the Polish jokes.
Yes, exactly. It's yeah, I think you mean Leonard Smalls. That's the character played by Randall Cobb, Tex Cobb, basically. Is the guy who plays him.
No, I'm talking about the lone biker, the biker. I'm trying to remember. I'm not trying to remember the actor's name. I'm trying to remember what they actually called him in the film. I think he was the lone biker of the apocalypse.
Yeah, that could be right. I can't find him though, for some reason. I guess that
He's a very dirty man in the movie. And even he's got the baby imagery. Like they talk about, they don't know what made him the way he was, and he's got his bronze booties on his biker jacket.
Yeah. Yeah, there are a bunch of great characters and really well written jokes, and just it's just an underrated movie in my opinion. And it's whenever, I mean, when we talked about doing this, the first thing I said, oh yeah, we got to do the obvious movie, which is The Big Lebowski, but the Raising Arizona, when I look back at it, it is really underrated. For especially since it's made as the second movie of an emerging writer-director team. It's very, very well made. I'd completely forgotten how good it is. Yeah. You did I lose you?
Yeah. No. I was reading. That is the biker is played by Leonard Smalls.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So the
biker,
Leonard Smalls is the biker. Yes.
Yeah. But in one of the not dream sequences, H.I. is talking about how stealing this woman's baby has like brought hell down on them. Yeah. And they introduce this lone biker riding through the desert as he rides past like flowers burst into flames. And he kills was it like a little lizard with a grenade?
Yeah. It's the typical ogre. He is the typical ogre character, basically. And they found, or Tex Cobb is known for playing that kind of character, which is why it's typecasting without a doubt, but it's brilliant, in my opinion. I can't find any. It may be nostalgia. It may be member berries. Raising Arizona. Member berries. It may be so many different things, but I actually think I've completely underrated this movie myself, and I think a lot of people should watch it.
I think the small things in the Coen Brothers films usually don't get enough credit. Because I was just scrolling through here, looking at the different things, and just ran across this piece of trivia on IMDb. According to Ethan Coen, Nicolas Cage was crazy about his Woody Woodpecker haircut, and that it reacted to H.I.'s stress level. The bigger the danger he's in, the bigger the wave in his hair gets. You know?
Yeah.
Well, I never noticed that. And there's so many little things going on in this film, and I know we're just kind of fanboying out at this point.
Yeah, well, this is Fanboy Weekend. It's the Coen Brothers Weekend. Month, I mean. It's just, we gotta go back to ranting and raving about bad decisions in Hollywood in November, but right now we just want to geek out on Coen Brothers shit. And
I'm good filmmaking in general for a little while.
Yeah.
You know, this is how you tell a modern fairy tale, and you mix in just enough fanciful elements. And just to rail on Hollywood a little, now that Jan brought it up, it's like, not everything has to be so damn dark. Oh my God.
No, exactly. You could talk about dark shit in a lighthearted way, and that's exactly what the Coen brothers are really, really fucking good at. They're good at the dark shit as well. I mean,
well,
Blood Simple.
No kidding. And I'd have to rewatch Blood Simple. I've only ever seen it once. If we want to discuss it, but Blood Simple, if you want to have a nice, straightforward juxtaposition between two extremes, watch Blood Simple, then watch Raising Arizona, and realize that that was these directors' first two films.
Yeah, and it's very, very not like Hollywood at this point. It's like they would take, say, Michael Bay, and he would make a movie about, whatever childhood memory that you had, and then destroy it, and then he would make a good movie after that. Or a movie about not robots, but about little women living in Africa, surviving
against giant robots. Because
no,
get real.
No, stop mixing the giant robots in. Michael Bay doesn't need to make movies about robots or my childhood.
You know what I would actually love to see? I would love to see somebody else direct and bring Michael Bay on as a cinematographer.
Oh yeah, dude, he does know angles and so on. So yeah. See what we've done here? We started ranting about Michael Bay in our fanboy episode. When we're supposed to be discussing. God damn it, Michael Bay! Why are you sneaking yourself into this one as well?
Michael Bay's gonna remake this episode.
It's gonna be bigger. It's gonna be explosions, and you're gonna have meerkats with Uzis and penguins with rockets on their backs, flying in like kamikazes. That would be an awesome movie. And here's the thing. There is actually, that's why I love the older type of movie maker that can sort of make several different types of movies, and they don't get, even though the Coen brothers are mostly known for this the Racing Arizona type of movie.
If you really think about it, it's Raising Arizona, The Big Lebowski, Hudsucker Proxy,
Fargo.
I was gonna say, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah, yeah. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
But those are their only. Is it A Good Man?
John Goodman?
No, it's Barton Fink. It's like every other film they make is a comedy almost.
Yeah, and then they grow tired of comedies and they make a fucking dark movie. Like True Grit, and No Country for Old Men, and several others that I can't seem to remember right now.
Let's see.
Yeah, they do have a pattern. They make they made Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, and then they made The Man Who Wasn't There. And then they made... they don't necessarily... They had, like, a series of comedies, actually, when I look at it now. They had, actually, a pattern of Blood Simple, Raising Arizona, Miller's Crossing, Barton Fink, and then Hudsucker Proxy, Fargo, The Big Lebowski, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? So they do make comedies, but not at that pattern that we thought. But they do mix it up with a lot of dark shit as well. So that's why I really love them as directors and as screenwriters as well. They are awesome.
interesting.
What?
Oh no, when I get stuck on IMDb, I look at different stuff. Apparently, they are producing, looks like, involved with the making of a movie about the Silk Road, Dark Web. That'll be interesting.
Oh, really? Executive producer or? Okay.
Yeah, and Ethan
that's cool. That's cool. Well, you did have, I can't remember his name. Alex Winter's movie about the deep web and the Silk Road. That's pretty good. Actually, that's going to be my recommendation for the week. Go watch, I think it's called Deep Web, by Alex Winters.
We're so on the ball this week.
Yeah, Alex Winter, and it is called... God damn it, why is all your acting credits here? Holy shit. Where did it go? Yeah, Deep Web. God damn it, I was right. Why do I always have to question myself? I'm always right.
Because the unsolicited guys are always mocking you.
Yeah.
Making you wonder.
Yes.
And my recommendation is I'm not going to go in any sort of serious direction with this, but I will stick on topic and go with the Coen Brothers version of The Lady Killers.
Oh, dude. If I didn't go with Deep Web, I would totally go with The Lady Killers.
And I'm just going to recommend that just because everybody in that is just wonderful, and it's so freaking dark in such a lighthearted way.
Yes.
And
awesome.
I don't know how you could not enjoy a film where they strongly hint that one of the characters is Ho Chi Minh, who moved to the United States and now owns a donut shop.
It's awesome. Yeah. Well, I think that's going to be it for today.
All right.
Yeah. So.
Well, you can catch us usually here this time, Sundays at 4 o'clock Eastern, give or take. And you can catch Jan and the rest of the Unsolicited Opinion Gang at 4 o'clock Eastern on Fridays. And sometimes we do special stuff throughout the week. So just keep up with Jan or Evil or Artifice Hira's Twitter. And you should be able to catch any of our little things, projects, and side projects.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
See you later, you bastards.